Um, I wanted to dig this hat out of storage because there's a great story behind this. A story of action taking, but both on my part and on Chris's part, right? Both of us took massive action. So it was about September, October of 2011, somewhere around that time. I used to do a lot of blogging on this blog called WSO Junkie, and I was always looking for engagement from my peeps, my crew, and I did this commenting contest. It was the first time I ever did one. I got the idea from somebody else, and essentially in the blog post I gave some value, and then I said, hey, listen, I'd love to hear from you. Just leave a comment down below, and I'm going to pick one person out of the comment section, and we're going to have a coaching call. And so we had like tons of comments. People left their comments there, and Heather printed up the comments and she cut them out into little pieces and she put them in this hat. I call this is my lucky green hat. And so what I did was I got on video after the contest was over. I got on video and I pulled a name out of the hat. And guess whose name I pulled out of that hat? Is
It's
Chris
crazy.
Chris Winter's name, right? And what's crazy about
Who
that?
would?
Go ahead.
It's like one of the only things I've ever won in my entire life. Seriously, I've entered things. This is the only time I ever won anything.
And what's crazy about it is it was the first time I ever did anything like that. It was the first time he won anything. We got together. We ended up getting on this coaching call. It was supposed to only be like a 30-minute coaching call or something like that.
No, it was
And
like a 5 minute coaching call, and it was $999 after that.
yeah, it went on for like 3 hours, and we talked about all kinds of stuff. And Chris told me about what he had accomplished in his life, and he had told me that he was in this transformation contest with Bill Phillips, which was crazy because I was in a Body for Life transformation contest with Bill Phillips back in
Yeah.
1997. So it was like awesome. We were just like totally connected, and he told me about his past life story and how he was overweight and he had been an alcoholic for over 2 decades and how he win it on. You did go on to win this contest though, so you did win something big. You said you didn't win anything before. You mean
Well, that was
like this
that. That's
contest?
true. That's true. But I'm talking kind of like the lottery. It's kind of
Like
like you put something in, you
right,
wonder
the
if you're
hat.
going to win. I
Right.
had to work for that.
Right. So we just hit it off, and he's telling me the story, and I'm just so blown away by him and some of the things that we were talking about, law of attraction, and so he started to tell me about this video system, this video ranking uh, cash getting system that he had created. And he
Yeah.
started telling me about it, and I was just like, because I was doing video SEO too, and all this like light bulbs went off in my head. And I was completely blown away by how he was getting clients and making money with this system. And I said, man, we need to create a course out of this and launch this as a WSO, which is, for those of you that don't know, a WSO is a Warrior Special Offer. A few years ago, they were very popular. There were these offers that we would launch on this forum called the Warrior Forum. And Chris is like, yeah, let's do it. You know, think about Chris. He's always been about giving value and never holding back, just unselfish. He's like, yeah, let's do it. And I asked him a few times. I remember asking you this a few times. Are you sure you want to let the cat out of bag on this? And he was totally cool with it. So we moved forward and we launched. So this is like October 2011, September 2011, around that time. We put the launch date out for January 2012. It was Chris's first product ever. He'd never created an information training product before. This was his first one ever. So we got this thing out. It did close to $200,000 in sales. It was my first ever six-figure launch. So huge accolade for me in my internet marketing business. And Chris's first product, 200 grand, just unbelievable. And and from there he got the bug and he wanted to start creating a bunch of products and adding value to people's lives, and he did. And the reason I share this story with you is there's a big 30,000 foot viewpoint here, and it's you never know where the actions that you take are going to lead you. And since then, Chris has gone on to create a multi-million dollar business. I've gone on to have massive success in my business, but I went in a different direction than Chris did, and that's okay. at the end of the day, we're still amazing friends. We partnered up and joint ventured on that project. And he dialed in what he was doing. He got better at what he was doing in his business, and he totally exploded it. And the thing that excites me the most about Chris is his ability to focus and drill down on something and get really good at it. And that's why I wanted to have him here tonight, was to help you all get focused, to help you all figure out how he did what he did. How did he go from an overweight alcoholic to a muscular millionaire in such a short period of time? So without further ado, Mr. Chris Winters.
Yes, yes. So what do we do now after that great intro? I don't even know what to, bringing back all kinds of memories and stuff. What I recall now is that when you asked me about, we should really create a product, I was like, what's a product? And then and then I kind of got that concept, and then you said the Warrior Forum, and I said, what's the Warrior Forum? And you gave me the URL, and I went there and I thought, Jesus, this looks like it's back from the 1980s, right? It still does today.
Still does.
The whole design of the website, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It's kind of funny, but
still does.
But it just goes to show you, if you don't know what you're doing, and even things sound a little bit confusing, that if you align yourself with the right people, right, then things can happen.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly. Chris was all about, like, I remember when that blew up, you were like, I found my new crack. You're like, I love this stuff. And you were like ready to keep launching some more. And I was like tired from launching because I've been like promoting launches and doing launches for so long. And I'm like, I can't take another launch, because we had our struggles with that launch. It wasn't easy. There was a lot of challenges, things that came up, like PayPal, and our software stopped working the week before we were supposed to launch because there was a big YouTube update, and our programmer went MIA on us, and it's just like, I was just like stressed out. I didn't want to do it anymore, but it's just awesome. Like, it was an amazing experience, and through thick and thin, we've had our challenges, and here we are still today, like great friends, still helping each other in our lives and in our businesses, and I'm super pumped to have Chris
and give you like a big old
virtual
hug
big old
right
digital hug, a big old digital hug. I'm super pumped to have Chris here, and I know that what he's going to share with you all is going to blow you away. I mean, I know last time I saw this, I was like glued to the screen. I'm going to be glued to the screen again because it's just such an awe-inspiring story.
So, okay, so this is the first time I did the video on here. You always teach me something new. I always feel like such an amateur when I get in contact with you. So I guess I got to turn off the video, right?
Turn off the video. I'm going to turn off the video too, and then I'm going to turn it over to you. Let me do that really quick. And what I wanted everyone to do too is we did this a few nights ago, and there was a couple of parts that when we went through, people were not happy that they didn't take notes. They weren't prepared to take notes. Okay? And I saw it in the comments section. Could you go over that again? Could you go over that again? And listen, it's not fair for Chris to have to go over something again, number one, because for the sake of time. And number two, another thing that's really important also is there are people that are paying attention, and it's not fair to them either, right? So, just you made it a point to be here. It's going to be worth your while to be here. I promise. It's better than any TV show that's going on right now. It's better than any other webinar that's going on right now, okay? I promise. And just tune everything out and pay attention to what you're going to see and focus in on it, because it's pretty awesome. And I'm guessing you're going to log into your PayPal again like you did last time we did this, which was pretty crazy. Just seeing that. So I'm going to shut up and let Chris take over. Now, y'all pay attention, because this is going to be really, really good.
Cool. Okay, so, all right, so let me just give a very quick kind of intro, although that was a very tough act to follow with Aries. So really my whole life story is really all about change, and so I just want to give you a little background on that. When that person on the left hand of your screen there, that's me my entire life up until I was 41 years old. That's when that photo was taken. I was 41, had the big old double chin going on. And the person on the right is me today. It's taken about a month ago at 50 years old. So there can be a completely big transformation in your life. But I want to tell you a little bit about the process that I did here, because I really believe that anything that you do in one part of your life, you do it all. And so I was sitting outside of Starbucks at 2 in the morning in a parking lot, and I was sitting in this old beat-up car. And the reason I was there at 2 o'clock in the morning is because that's where I lived. I actually lived in the vehicle. And I was getting the free Wi-Fi that was coming off of there. So, and I saw a contest by Bill Phillips. And Bill Phillips is best known for Body for Life. Then he just most recently came up with a contest called Transformation. And that's the one I entered in. And I entered that, and the reason I entered it primarily is because I needed really to fix my life up, but there was a $50,000 first prize, and I wanted the money as well. So I ended up entering the contest, and this is the old beast I used to live in here. It's a 1982 Mercedes. What's so great about these things is that you can easily convert them over to run on vegetable oil rather than actual petrol or fuel. So I used to pick up vegetable oil from the restaurants, dirty vegetable oil, and that's how I used to drive around. And there's a old back seat I used to sleep in there. And I ended up winning the contest, and that's an 18-week transformation. And then things really changed from that point. I cleaned up my life from the inside out. And this is the best-selling book internationally that Bill did about the whole contest, called Transformation. And I got a little tiny before and after picture up there. And my whole story is in chapter 13 on that. And things really turned around. At the time, my wife and 3 kids decided they had enough of me, rightfully so. But they saw that I turned my life around here. And so we never did get a divorce, but we did get back together, which was a blessing. And this is us actually doing a second marriage, even though we were already married before, never got a divorce. And at this time, our kids got to watch it, and we actually did it in Korea, where my wife is from. It was a very, very special occasion. And about that time, I was thinking, hey, I've changed, my life dramatically, and I could feel the difference. I felt energized, and but I didn't have the financial part figured out. And so this is one of the first courses that I got. It's a Main Street Marketing Machine by Mike Keenings, and it was all about taking businesses offline. And so I ended up buying that course, and I was working just crazy hours, but I was so motivated, and I was healthy, so I could work these kind of hours. But I was doing, sometimes, 18, 20. Some days I would work overnight and stuff. It was insane. But I did really well, and completely turned everything around. And I spoke all over the country in addition to that with Bill Phillips, and I shared the stage. I did a whole U.S. tour with this young lady here. She's Paula Abdul. She's really amazing. She has her own transformation story a lot of people don't know about. It really is phenomenal. And that's what we were doing. We were speaking on behalf of Bill Phillips and his whole team. And I always just have to follow after her. I was a keynote speaker, and she's a tough act to follow. And that's me and Bill. Way back in the day, we had just run a marathon in Colorado, and we had raised almost $250,000 for Make-A-Wish. And that's one of the guys from Secret. This is after a television show that I did. And then Mike Keenings, I got to Mike Keenings. I invited me into his digital cafe. It was fantastic to meet him and share my story and stuff with him, because he and Bill Phillips really turned my life around. And then I got a call one day from Dan Kennedy. How many people know who Dan Kennedy is? Just type in a 1 in the chat box if you know who Dan Kennedy is. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So there's some ones. So a lot of people did. I had no idea who he was. I was like clueless. And someone called me up from his office and said, hey, Dan Kennedy would like to interview you for a television series that he's doing. It was called something like Millionaire Makeover or something. This was in 2009, right after the big bust in the banks and the housing market and stuff. And I declined. I was like, I'm busy. I don't want to go. And I got a call back the next day from the office, and I said, hey, you should probably look him online or something, because we get the sense you have no idea who he is. And so I looked him up. And so bottom line is I ended up going down there. That's me and Dan Kennedy is interviewing me in this television studio. And then as a exchange for going down there, I got to spend the next entire day with Dan Kennedy and 3 other people who had done similar things in the business during the recession. And it was really life-changing for me. So, and the reason he interviewed me is because this is a tax return that I got in 2010, I believe, for $1.6 million. That's for my own personal income. So anyways, enough about me. I want to share with you, and I'm really going to, for the next few minutes here, I'm going to pull back the curtains, and like Anthony said before, take notes, because seriously, I'm not holding anything back. I'm just going to buzz through it and go with. There's no secrets that I'm holding back here on that. So I'm going to show you some really cool stuff here that I guarantee you've never seen before. So, and these aren't loopholes. This is what I've been doing since 2009. Nothing's changed on here, and it's just steadily growing every single year. So, and I'm going to share with you how I did this, and more importantly, how you can do it. So here we go. So one of the things that I did is that I really reinvented my business. What I was first doing when I first started an offline business is I was being an everything to any offline business that would take on me as a, would allow me to take them on as a client, and I was doing everything. That's why I was working so hard. So I really became clear that I didn't really want to meet with clients anymore face to face. I mean, I was making great money and stuff, but I was at a point where, hey, I need to do something different because I'm going to go downhill again. And so I wanted to offer also to an exclusive product that someone from halfway around the world who's, quite frankly, just as qualified or more than me could offer the same service for a fraction of the price. And then I wanted to really build more of a lifestyle business. And what I mean by lifestyle business is I didn't want to work so much, and I wanted to travel around the world with my 3 kids and my wife, which is exactly what I've been doing for the past 4 years. We've been traveling everywhere in the world. I mean, literally everywhere. This is the first time. Right now is the first time I've been back in the States in 4 years, and I'm sitting in the States right now, and I'm about to go back away. But anyways. So, and in the end of the day, I ended up, and this is all through the help of Dan Kennedy, I ended up modeling my business after Google AdWords, which if you ever use a Google AdWords, it's automated. You go in, you log in, you put your credit card information. It's really hard to get a hold of customer service, and they've just made it really streamlined. So that's what I did with my business, and that's what I'm going to share with you. And that's how I was able to grow. I've grown my business a lot since then. So, so I really looked at, and Dan Kennedy helped me focus on this, is what do business owners really want? What does a plumber want? What does an accident attorney want? What does a painter want locally? Everyone's trying to give them, hey, you're going to get #1 on Google with SEO. You want a high converting website, Facebook, social media, and the bottom line is they don't really want any of that stuff. What they really want is they just really want, at the end of the day, they just want live prospects to call them locally in their area. And so I completely reinvented my business years ago to just provide only that, just live leads. So I completely separated myself from everyone else in the marketplace. And even today, everyone else in the marketplace, no one is offering what my company offers. As long as I know, our company is the largest live lead generation company in the world. And let me give you a little bit of background about the lead gen business and really how big it is. This Home Advisor used to be known as Service Magic, and they're in the lead gen business as well, but a different kind of lead gen business than I'm in. They're in a lead gen business of selling leads to local contractors for home improvement type things, roofers, painters, remodelers, stuff like that. That's email leads, and I'm in the business of selling live leads to these same people. And a live lead is obviously worth a lot more than just an email lead, right? But still, let me show you how powerful this is. This is unbelievable. So Service Magic, and notice if you see the small print, this is 2012. They did $2.5 million annually, and I thought, well, that's kind of old. Let me see if I can find something new for this presentation. And the newest article I could find was in 2015. They're up to $700 million. So they just, in just a few short years, 3 years, went from 205 to $700 million. And the thing is that my business has done something very similar. So right before this call, I like to be transparent about everything. This is my PayPal account for my business, and we go from March 1st up to today, the 25th, right? And so that's where I am. So I'm from making almost that much per year to that much per month. And I've got a little overhead expenses in here and stuff, but still. And let me just be 100% transparent. And let me see if I've got this in here. Some other things I'm going to show you too. So yeah, it doesn't log out like it used to on here with this new screen. But this is it here, and this is I moved my business overseas. This is Hong Kong, but yeah. So there it is, and I should be really straightforward and say that results vary, and I've been at this for over 5 years and stuff. But anyways, that's what's possible, and I'm nowhere near Service Magic, and there's some other ones out there, but they're just selling email leads, and I'm selling something that's really a lot more sexy and allows me to have that kind of lifestyle that I really want. I have no interest in doing a gigantic, big, huge corporation. I'm more than happy as it is now. So I have 2 methods, and they're really simple. I have 2 methods, and this is the time you want to start taking notes, okay? So, but I have 2 methods for driving traffic to basically what I call my lead gen site. So say you're in the niche of, and I'm only in 2 niches, people. I'm not in like 500 niches or something. I'm in 2 niches. So a niche is like a plumber, and another one is like a handyman. I'm just in 2 niches, and I've grown these niches deep, and I've grown them throughout the United States, in the UK, in Australia, and so anyone out there who's international or something, you can do this in any country in the world. So, so I'm going to show the first method on here, and this is a really cool method, and I guarantee you've never heard it before. So this is going to be when you take notes. So let's go ahead and move on. I'm not holding anything back on this. So what I do is I build what I call master domain lead gen sites. So I determine what niche I'm going to get into, and then I just build out these master domain sites. So, what the heck is a master domain site, right? So this is what it is. It's basically where you have one domain. This example here, it's mrplumber.com and then /Houston. So Houston. So that means there's a site in Houston that's for plumbing, and so on, Dallas, Austin, Fort Worth, and etc. And in the United States, because it's such a large marketplace, and I really appreciate that, being out of the States for so many years, is you can grow these out to 40, 50 cities in the U.S. and then expand it to Canada, and then UK, and then Australia, and then really internationally, as long as you can work out the languages and stuff. But anyways, there's something really special that no one knows about, and this isn't something that I made up myself. My staff and I, we always reverse engineer the ones that are out there that are making it happen, and you should do the same thing. Anytime you see something that's doing really well, or somebody is, try to figure out what they're doing and just reverse engineer it. It'll save you years, and that's exactly what we did. So there's many, many, many of these doing this. This is not a loophole. This has been around forever. It's just no one's discovered it. And so basically what happens is you end up ranking in about 5 to 7 cities on page 1. And then after that, Google just kind of hands over you this whole trust. And they just say, you're just fine. You're obviously a trustworthy company. You're ranking well in 5 to 7 cities. It just depends on the niche, right? After that, they just kind of give you a free go pass. And I'm going to show you actual proof. And so let's go ahead and dive into that here. I want to make sure everyone's very clear on this. This is just one domain, and you just / a city, and we're just specializing it for the city, and it just, after this 5 or 7, it just kind of ranks automatically. And I'm going to show you a niche right now that is competitive, and in big cities like Los Angeles and Dallas and stuff. So this is nothing, spammy. I'll show step by step of exactly how I do the SEO. Anybody can do it. It's really easy. So I just want to check out. So this is a handyman Dallas. So Dallas is a big city, right? It's not like this is some easy tiny city to rank in. Right up here at number 1, MrHandyman.com Dallas. Okay, but a lot of people would think, okay, so you're ranking in Dallas. That's a big city. You must have tons of backlinks to this. No, not at all. So let's actually look at the backlinks to this using a software tool called Majestica. And some of you may or may not know what it is, but it really doesn't matter. It's telling you how many backlinks are going to this website here to make it rank. And there are 2 websites here, and those 2 websites, they actually have very little authority at all, because they have no trust flow, nothing to them. It's just a simple citation. It's just 2 citations. That's it. Can you imagine just ranking like a bot, yellow bot, and a Yelp or something like that, and then boom, you're already on page 1. someplace like Dallas. This is how this happens. And what I'm showing you right now, you can come in and check next week. You can check 6 months from now. It'll always be there. This is very, very solid. Let me give you some more examples so you don't think this is a fluke on here. So what about ranking #1 in Los Angeles? That would be huge, right? For any niche, it doesn't matter. There it is, #1. Again, you think, oh, Los Angeles must have a ton of backlinks, right? No, because of the master domain site, it doesn't. What it has here is it has 3. It has 3 backlinks, and they're not even strong backlinks. Again, they're just citations. That's all that they are. Very, very simple. Anyone can do that. Nothing. There's no, Wikipedia, .gov. None of that kind of BS. That's not what's going on here. Here's another one. This is Handyman, Chattanooga and Tennessee, ranking #1. And again, here we get into the zero. There's no backlinks and it's ranking #1. There's nothing. Okay. Here's another one. I actually pulled this one up, especially before the webinar, just for Anthony. This is Orlando, right here, ranking #2, and one little tiny backlink right there. What is it? It's just a basic site in Canada. It's nothing. There's no trust flow or nothing to it. So these kind of methods really, really work. So if you're like me, I've developed kind of a love-hate relationship with SEO. This makes it easy. And I'm going to share with you right now some more examples and exactly how we get these to rank. Okay, so the first thing is the site structure. You just start building the site structure and you go through that. Let me just pull that open. Okay, so alrighty, so let's go ahead and move on here on that. So I'm just kind of curious on it. You might think, oh, handyman site, it's worth, a big deal. It's just a handyman. It's just some guy with a tool belt that comes out the house and you're ranking it in a bunch of sites. How much do you think this site is worth? Go ahead and put it in the chat box and just make sure you put millions behind it. So whatever number you choose, you put millions in there. And while you're putting that in there, guessing how much that site is worth, let me grab just a quick drink of water. Okay, so you got some pretty good guesses there, but here it is, right here. So check it out. This is in 2009, somewhere between 75 million and 100 million. Okay, so just think about that. You can, and I haven't checked the value of our sites out there, but they've got to be somewhere close to that. But this is something that people say, oh, SEO sucks. It's up and down. Well, that's if you do spammy, junky stuff. That's not what we do. I'm about sustainability. I'm about what makes it work on here. So, so what about the SEO? Let me show you some other. This is very recently. We're only in 2 niches, but we just started a 3rd niche. We started a 3rd niche after over 5 years in business. Okay, we've just had the time and the staff to do it, and so I'm going to show these, but I'm covering up. It's brand new. This is one in Phoenix, and we're ranking #3. We haven't reached that tipping point to where it's really easy to rank yet. We're about to get there. There's San Diego. We're not quite there. I think this is Sacramento. I know this is Sacramento, and here we're #2. So who here wants to see the revenue that I'm making out of these 4? I'll show you I'll log right into my pay-per-call software on here. I'll show you the exact revenue that I'm making off of just these 4 dinky sites that we've had for, I don't know, it's been it's been just a little bit over a year on that. Okay, so we got some excitement there. So let me go ahead and let's see if I've got that. Where are we? Yep, okay, here it is. So this is it. This is a software system, the lead gen pay-per-call system that I had built, and the programmers that I had build this, I had them on my staff for 5 years full time. I've been to 2 of their weddings. They're a total part of the company, but it's here. So we have it in Phoenix, Sacramento, LA. LA is the one that I couldn't read, and San Diego. We're not even on some of those sites, as you saw. We weren't even above the fold. Year to date, we've certainly replaced any kind of income. Someone would be, life-changing. I'll explain why it says today in just a second, a 0. And then in February, in the last 30 days in here, it'll tie in why it's here. How we do these is that with the calls view system is that we actually bill the clients in advance. It's like, okay, here's, you need to top up your account like $1,000, and then let's say each lead is like, each live phone call lead is $25. As it starts to kind of work its way down, when it hits like $400, I can adjust it wherever I want to, 300, it doesn't matter. Then they start getting text messages out, and the invoices are due on Monday. So this coming Monday, what's coming around here pretty soon, this is all going to bump up for the 30 days and for the year total. But that's how that works. Again, very automated, modeled after Google AdWords. Okay, Google AdWords is just designed ideally just for someone just to kind of log in and just do it on their own. So let's go ahead and move on here. Everything is completely automated. I'm not going to chase down invoicing. I'm not going to hire staff to chase down invoicing. What I do with the invoices, basically this is what it looks like, and I've crossed out the important information here, is that my clients 5 days before anything's due is they start getting a text message and an email message every single day. And the text and the email both has a link in it to pay the bill that's due. Now they've already got funds in there. They've already prepaid. So it's kind of like a prepaid card. So they might, depending on the niche and how much volume, they may prepay like $1,000 or $1,500, and then it starts deducting from that. And when it reaches a certain threshold, then they got to top back up in order to keep their account. So I'm always in the red here. So clients manage their own calls. They don't like call into our, we don't even have a call. We don't have a phone number to call. Okay, so and they log into the back end, and these are the phone numbers. I've crossed out the time and who the phone numbers are in here, but it shows the exact dates, who called in, what time they called, the phone number, and it has a recording so they can listen to it. And it just makes it super, super easy and automated. It's very straightforward. So, so let's just talk a little bit about I shared with you earlier, and I said, here's some slides I showed you a whole bunch of examples. So how do we get these to rank? The good news is it's really simple. It's not as complicated as everyone else out there who's a SEO guru is explaining. So first of all, who out there? What is a good backlink? If you get the kind of the best backlink, and it could be repeatable, so you could do it over and over again, and it's scalable, so you could do it again and again and again as much as you wanted to, and as fast as you wanted to grow your business, and as many places you want to rank to. What would be considered a really good backlink? Obviously some just automated systems out there are not going to cut it. Those are really spammy. Google's all over that. They're really smart. They're hiring programmers and really intelligent people from the top places in the world, and they've got this stuff figured out. So you have to be very clean at what you do. Okay, so some good answers in there. So basically, yeah, private blog networks, that's like the number one source. That's primarily 95% of what we do. But the challenge with it is that those can kind of get spendy and stuff. So here's a place we used to buy domains from, and they were quality domains, so I'm not complaining about the quality of them. But the price was, you want to scale up, the price gets kind of crazy. It's $49 or $50 for one good quality domain, or you get a little discount for buying more, but it really starts to add up. And so what I did is my programmers, who are really part of the family now, is they developed, and they're still developing and tweaking it and improving it every day, an internal software that allows us to just go out there on the internet and find high trust domains that everyone else forgot about, and meets our criteria, and that are just available for whatever a .com is. So if this month in the .com you can find a coupon for a .com for $1.99, that's what it costs. No other charges. If you find a .com for $7.99, that's what it costs. It's whatever's just a brand new domain cost. So it goes out and finds these domains that everyone forgot about. Really cool stuff. And so we've got an endless supply of those, and we do this all over the world. So it doesn't matter if it's UK, if it's Netherlands, Australia. It doesn't matter. We find them all. So these are some of the ones that we do. They're really powerful backlinks. And if you know anything about backlinks, and Jessica, these numbers are like, should be like, wow. If not, just know, hey, they're really good stuff. And it also finds expired Web 2.0. So we kind of mix up a little bit. We use primarily private blog networks and mix up a little bit with expired Web 2.0s, these are examples of them. They're all, the thing with these is that they're free. You don't have to host them or anything, but it's just a nice mix. But these also have a trust flow of 15 plus, and so we mix those in as well. That's all we do. We don't do anything else, and we don't spam these things out, nothing like that. So does this work? I think I've already shown that it works, but maybe you think, well, yeah, it works for you, but what about other people? So here's someone on here, and I've covered up the names for privacy. This is stuff that just, these are very recent, basically testimonials on here, just in the last month on here. But this person on here was able to, they just come in a couple hours. He recently just quit his job, by the way, but nevertheless, he was, how he got there, he's working 2 hours a night during the weekday while he works a full-time job, and he has a little kid on his shoulders there. He actually has 2, and then 4 hours on Saturday. And he was able to build up to $80,000 additional dollars. The thing is, he wanted to replace his income, and he's at 110 with his full-time job, which he just did. And then this is someone just, we come in with a lot of great members like Winning Monday. What did you guys, what did you accomplish this week? And so they all talk about it on Mondays on here. And he just talks about it, got #1 spot on Google on this. This is someone else who's, like a lot of you have bought other SEO courses, and mine is not an SEO course, because the next method I'm going to show you to get leads is going to totally blow you away. If this seems simple and straightforward to you, cool. That's the way we want it. The next method is just off the hook crazy. But they're just he's basically just saying on here that, he's best course ever purchased for ranking his sites. He spent thousands on other courses, follow the steps. He's jacked about these methods on here. This is a person who had a very competitive niche in the attorney niche. I had a very simple method that we use with our private blog networks, and just boom, boom, bumped it right up. And that, he doesn't list it in here, but I guarantee you it just like at least tripled his income. So who wants to see the second method on here on how I deliver leads? Because the first method's kind of cool. You probably never heard that stuff, but yet I'm sure you appreciate the simple concept to it. But the second method here, this is over the top, and this is not even close to what you've heard before. But I want to see some enthusiasm. Know you're awake. Type in some 2s in the chat box. Let me know some 2s. You want to see this, and I'll get. And this next method, I mean, if you slept through the last one, you're going to take notes. Now is the time you want to take notes. Definitely. Okay, good. So we're looking good there. Let me give you a little backdrop about what this is, because this is truly the future here. Right here, right? Cell phones. They're not shrinking. As far as I know, nothing's going to replace them except for maybe glasses or something, or some chip implant. But anyways, this is it right here. This is where it's happening. And notice on the right-hand side, the little phone, right, and the little call, and that's a tap to call. Let me show you what's so powerful about this tap to call on mobile devices. Okay, so this stat here literally took my business and more than doubled it in the last 3 years. So what I'm going to share with you is not new. It's been around. Okay, in 3 years is like, I don't know, 40 years in real life. It's kind of like when they say dog years, right? Dog years, 12 years for a dog, like 40 for a human. Anyways, 70% of all local mobile searches result in a phone call. So that means that if you got a phone, you got a smartphone in your hands, and you search for some kind of local, 70% of that ends up being a phone call. This is really powerful stuff here. So I'm going to set up a campaign exactly how I do it right here. I'm not going to hold anything back. It's exactly how I set up these pay per lead phone calls. Now, we just did organic. Now we're going to do paid traffic. This is going to blow you away. So here we go. Again, you're going to want to pay attention to this. This is big stuff here. Okay, so here we go. So I'm showing you a old email that I've got here. I'm not going to log into my current active AdWords account because I just, for obvious reasons, I don't want to reveal those 2 niches. I reveal a lot. I'm really transparent, but I'm just not going to reveal that. So anyways, so this is exactly what you do. Anybody can do this. I've had people literally take this after the webinar and go make money with it. So, so what you do is you have your ad campaign. You just drop down here. You're going to do search networks only. okay? And if you think I'm doing pay-per-click, I'm not. I'm doing something that, what I'm showing you here, you can ask, literally, you can go out and go find people that are Google AdWords certified, and you can ask them about this method, and they won't know about it. You can ask people that have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars, even a month or a year, on Google AdWords, but they don't know what I'm about to show you. And this isn't new. Okay, this isn't new. I'm clueless as why no one's doing this. So anyways, campaign name, let's just go and leave it what it is on here. We just scroll right on down here and we click call only. Okay, that's the first step on here. Right here, we want to uncheck this. And the reason we do is because the Google Ad Networks are not supporting the call only at this moment. Some of them are, some of them aren't. It doesn't make any sense to click on it right now, so we just leave it alone. Devices, we're totally cool there. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to choose my own location, and I'm going to use Handyman as an example, and just kind of keep the thing the same. Some of you may already know this, but what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to narrow this down to a Pacific area on here, and I'm just going to let you know in advance that the good news is that I can't spell or type and speak at the same time, and I can still make things happen. So there's that. Let me actually go to advanced search. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so there it is. This is kind of cool, right? It shows the map. But the truth of the matter is that a handyman goes to the customer. So, and I happen to know this area very, very well, so that's why I'm giving it as an example. A handyman would easily go to Scottsdale. So I'm going to add Scottsdale to this area on here, and I'm not going to do it all. I'm just going to do a few. Some people don't know about this, and that's perfectly fine. So I just added Scottsdale in here, and then I'm just going to add a couple other areas because anybody in a truck with a Hammond would want to do Scottsdale. That also want to do Tempe as well, which is basically almost the same as Phoenix on here. Yeah, but it's a little area, but it's very tightly condensed. And we probably do want to do Mesa as well. It's actually one of the largest cities in, there we are. It's got a population of over 500,000 on here. And you want to add Gilbert and Chandler and stuff. So this is just an example here. So I'm going to stop there, but it's really a power. You can really focus in on this stuff. Location options. Yes, this is really critical. A lot of people skip this, and it totally messes them up. And it's you want to do people in my target area. It's really this can mean failing. That can mean succeeding right there. Okay, let's go down here. Bid strategy on here. Now I don't manage these myself. I have a staff that does it, so I'm struggling a little bit to kind of go over this. Want to do manual. Okay, manual. You want to do manual. And then my default bid, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a maximum bid of $2. And basically what I'm saying is, look, the most I'm going to pay for a call, not a click. I want you to think about this for a second. Just ask yourself right now, if you did pay per click, say for Handyman, how many clicks would it take to get a call? It's going to take at least 5 clicks to make a call, okay? And the clicks cost a heck of a lot more than the calls. Go figure. I have no idea, but it's been this way for over 3 years. So let's take a look at the budget on here. I'm going to budget this thing out. I'm going to say $20 a day. So if at the end of one day, I'm not going to spend more than $20. This is going to be a little bit overkill on here. It's actually not going to do this much. Delivery method. That works. Oh, yeah, standard. There's some Yahoos out there that do the advise the accelerated. Trust me, we've spent millions in AdWords. Don't do accelerated. Just keep standard. And the cool thing about this is that we're going to start this we can start this tomorrow, and you can put in the time. It's like I only want these leads to be delivered from like 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, or whatever the hours of operations are. I'm going to leave this alone now, but you get the idea, right? So I'm going to go ahead and save and continue this. Now it's going to get really, if that was kind of boring, I hope it wasn't, because this is like, it took us years to figure this out. We're going to get to the really exciting part in just a second here. That'll just totally blow you away. So business name, I'm just going to type this in really quickly. I'm just going to done now. handyman, doesn't really matter. Now this is important, the phone number in here, I do not, I use the Callzoo phone number so I can track everything that comes in, I can forward it out. I have complete 100% control over it, it's tied into the billing and everything. So that's the number that I use. And obviously this is a fake number. I think that was the Jenny number, but no, maybe not. Okay, so description line on here. If you know anything about AdWords, this one wants to be some kind of call to action on here, but just do something like, and you'll see it off to the right-hand side there. Need handyman. Tap to call. So see how that kind of right there. So obviously, in order for that to pop up, you need to be looking for a handyman, right? So we're just describing exactly what they need on here, and here you just put some kind of benefits in the second description. I'm not going to go into that detail. I just want to get right to the juicy stuff here. Display URL. I'll just put the Callzoo for right now, and then here for the verification. Just have to put the full URL. Okay, so enough of that. This is really important here. You don't want to use the Google AdWords forwarding number. It's not going to work the way that I'm going to show you it's going to work. There's a lot of subtle stuff in here. Also, subtle stuff that I'm sharing with you. This is an education that I've learned after spending, literally millions of dollars within AdWords and tweaking it and getting it just right. So, all right. So let's get some keywords in here. Now, normally on a campaign like this, we do a little bit more research. We'd probably get about 20 or 30, maybe more keywords in here. And I'm not going to get into the broad base and exact match and stuff now. Let me just do the basics here. It'll demonstrate how powerful this is, even with something as basic as this. So if someone's looking for handyman in Phoenix, what would they type in? A lot of them they'd sit at their desk and they just type in, handyman. Just that simple. Some of them would type in handyman, maybe they'd type in the area, Phoenix, right? And we chose a couple of areas, so maybe they would type in, handyman Scottsdale, or maybe they would type in, handyman. I think of what else I do, Mesa. So that's basically it. We normally do a little bit more, but we'll get the point on this. So let's go ahead and estimate. This is where it's going to get crazy. Yeah. So basically on here, now I would, my average cost per call is, now my bid was $2, that's the max I paid. The max on here is going to be like $1.11. So basically around $1. Okay. And if you were to do this on the side and look for the click, the click's like $8-9. It's crazy. And the clicks per day, I'm going to get about 6 to 8. And that's only because I didn't, I need about 20 to 30 of things. I probably should have researched it and copy and pasted here for better results. But and I'm not even going to spend the $20. I will spend less than $10, and I'm going to get this. Now, why is this so powerful? If you were to put in more of there's a lot more little handyman kind of keywords that you could put in here, it would definitely bump this up, where it would be getting like 15, 18 calls per day. It would bump this price up to around $1.50 or so, and it would end up almost spending the 20. But this is where it becomes so freaking powerful. Let's just do a little bit of math here, and let me show you in the example. So here it is. I grabbed this from, this is some data that's available on the internet, but this is the average revenue that a handyman collects. So this is just a typical bell curve, right? So we have a low cost of $75. It's probably a trip charge. They come out and they don't want to take the estimate or something, or they're going to shop around. The average cost is about $390. So let's round it up. And then the high end at the other side of the bell curve is around $1,100. So we're just going to go off of the top of the bell curve. What is average? And if you just imagine for a second, the example that I gave was $20 per day at $2 a call. That's like the max, and I'm not even going to max that out. It's going to be, half of that, right? Instead of 10 live calls, probably over 6 to 8, just like the data showed. But that's only off of those 3 keywords in there. Now, Most other places charge $18 per lead, and that's for an email lead, not someone ringing your phone. Okay, understand there's a huge difference there. So I'm being very conservative with these numbers. You charge a lot more than 18 bucks because this is a live lead. This is not some email lead where it's so easy to forget and things out of spam, all that kind of stuff. But even at that rate, on that end of it, $18 a lead that's based off an email, not a live phone call at 10 leads a day. It's 180 bucks. So basically, they're paying, handyman pay 180 bucks a day for this. 3 calls turn into jobs. So they get 10. Basically, they got a 30% closing rate. They kind of suck, by the way, at that. So again, I'm being extremely realistic, and I'm just going off the average. It's just $387 per job. So on average, they don't even close all 10. And they're not going to close all 10, but 3 is kind of sucky. It should really be going for around 40 to 60%. They're going to get about $1,100 in revenue total to their company. And basically what you need to think about here is they just handed your company 180 bucks. They said, here's 180 bucks for the phone calls, and you handed them back over $1,100 in revenue. Just think about that for a second. How often do they want to do that transactions? How often do they want to hand you 180 bucks to get this much back in revenue? It's a fantastic rate of return. Yeah, they want to do it every single day. Okay, so let's see here. So just I want you to really kind of expand your mind for a second here, and I want you to think about if you had just one profitable niche, say for example the one I just gave. I'm not in the handyman. That one in Phoenix anyway. So if you go in here and if you just had one profitable niche, you got it all kind of tweaked out, and it's not like this is going to happen overnight. You got to kind of tweak out, you got to get the right title, you got to get the right conversion rates and stuff. But when you nail it, it nails hard. And basically, handyman in Phoenix, the AdWords ad for a pay-per-call is going to pretty much work everywhere else the same way. I mean, most people in Phoenix shop for a handyman and end up clicking on an ad and calling is the same they would in Miami and other places. So just think for a second, if you had that dialed in, then would that exact same niche work in other cities? It would. I can tell you from experience it absolutely does, and this is where scalability becomes hugely powerful. This is where this right here is where the exciting stuff really, really happens. So here we are in Phoenix, right? So this is Phoenix, right? Got that dialed in for whatever niche you're in, and then I expand out, and then I start to expand out to San Diego. I use the exact same ad, exact same wording. I changed nothing. I just changed the phone number is all I do. And then I do that in San Diego and in Dallas and in San Jose and in Austin and Fort Worth and Charlotte and Detroit and blah, blah. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. And then Oakland and Miami and Cleveland. You see what I'm saying? Aurora, it's Illinois. It's a huge market, by the way. Riverside, California, another huge market. That's within the greater area of LA. Stockton. You see what I'm saying? This is huge. Then back to Orlando again, so on and so forth. So you're really able to scale it. You get dialed in one city and you just scale it out. And this is, that's the power of the internet. It just can really blow you away. So let me continue with here. Go back. So I've just kind of like shared all my big secrets here. I've handed out a lot. So right now on this end of it, hopefully this is what I've accomplished and everyone feels the same way on here. I really want to give a lot of value. How many people on this call right now feel that they've really learned some exciting stuff? I mean, this is like, no one's teaching this because I'm the only one that went out and learned it. And more importantly, put it to action. But the first step is just getting the whole master domain site. Yeah, you got to do a little more work for your first 5 or 7 cities, but after that, you can literally do just citations and sometimes no backlinks, and they're going to rank on page 1. And then you scale that out to all the cities I just showed you organically. It's organic when you know how to do it right. It's no longer painful. And then the second thing I shared with you was with the AdWords. It's like no one's doing it. Google's had it around forever. So strange, but leverage on it. and scale it. Get that city dialed in, get that ad dialed in, get that benefit dialed in. It doesn't need to be perfect. You'll know right away what the numbers are. And you can experiment so easily. The thing is that what I do is we have our clients, we charge them a setup fee of $20, and then we say, look, we're gonna deliver you leads tomorrow on this between, what are your hours of operation? Oh, from 9 to 4. Okay, we're gonna deliver you these leads tomorrow from 9 to 4. And we just require a one-time fee, setup fee. We'll get you all those leads for free, and I just let them know right away. If we don't deliver, and I'd be a little bit conservative, if we don't deliver more than 5 leads for tomorrow from people in your area, we'll refund the setup fee. It's like a no-brainer for them. And then they see that the next day, they're like, whoa. And then we come back, we say, would you like some more? What do you think they say? It's so different than people doing like, oh, we'll get you SEO and you'll be ranking in, 3, 4, 6 months. It takes some time, but, it's worth the investment, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, you're just giving them exactly what they want. It's such a sexy, easy sell. It's a fun business to be in. And by the way, we don't even talk to customers when we sell it, so I'll get into that in a second. So who feels right now that with the right kind of training and support, it's really important to have support, that they could build their own pay-per-call lead business right now? Just type in a 2 in the chat box. Let me know that you've been paying attention, you're excited about it, and if we could continue this a little bit further, just get the really nitty-gritty step-by-step, because I showed you kind of a 20,000-foot level right now. He said they could really grow this thing, and here's excited about. Type in 2 in the chat box. You can see some 2s on there. Oh boy, yeah. There's a little delay. I forgot about the delay on the website. You had lots of 2s. All right, so let me jump right into it here. Okay, so here's what you're going to get in addition to what I've already provided tons of. I didn't hold back nothing, if you could tell. But here is what you can get today and today only, and that's full training. Now, I'm not one of those people who holds back. Like, here's the training, and every video is just 5 minutes, and there's just a few of them. So keep it quick and simple. No, this is like a real business. If you run a real business, you gotta. You want to learn at it. You have to be good at what you do, period. If you're not an expert and good at what you do, then no one should really pay you for what you do. It's just a fact of value and money follows value. But anyways, it's 200 hours with nothing. Some of you who went to college, and at least undergraduate, you did well over 200 hours, and you probably got a useless degree that's sitting on your wall, and quite frankly, maybe you have debt you're still paying from it. So just put it in that kind of perspective. But I just want to be transparent, like I am with everything else. You're going to get, you're going to get your TrustFlow 20+ domains, like I was showing you before. They're yours. They're not like mine and my company's, and then you put a little article, a link back there. No, they're yours 100%. You just do whatever you want with them on here, but we want you to be able to rank your sites with them on here, and also with the Web 2.0s. So that gets you the SEO part out of the way. And then we really want you to succeed. So I'm also going to provide free backlinking reporting for your niches, so you know exactly how to reverse engineer them, exactly what it's going to take to step in there and go, boom, I'm number one. I'm the number one player here. Safe link exchange within a private group that I've got. And these are all other students who are in different niches and are in the same direction, but they're going to do a link exchange. So they may have a private blog network where they've linked out one link to one of their money sites. Now, safely, you could do 5 more links outbound, not 20. None of that kind of crazy stuff which is taught out there. Just 5. That's it. Boom, you're done. Now you're no longer spammy. And we do the link exchange within the group. Everyone follows the same quality guidelines. It really helps take in 5 times your effort, so it makes it a lot easier. I do weekly coaching calls, not like for the first month, not for the first 6 months, not for the first year, but just indefinitely. I'm really passionate about helping other people, and I love to hop on the calls and just speak my mind about what's going on in the industry, in our community, and what's going on in there, and do it. And I usually spend 2 hours on there, and I answer every question live and stuff. It's really invaluable. So let me share a little bit about the software system called Zoo. And there's some things in here that are really important that I want to mention. And that's the first thing. A lot of people mention the features and benefits of software, but really, you know, who made the software and what makes it what it is today are my 3 full-time programmers, okay? Anyone who's involved in software knows that you can't just build something and then it's done. It's not like you write a book and you're done with the writers and the editors. No, it's not the way software works. Software works, it's dynamic. You got to be making changes all the time. So I have 3 dedicated programmers. I think I mentioned before I've been to 2 of their weddings. I've met all of their parents. It's a huge deal. They're all from overseas, by the way. But anyways, that's the backbone of it. If you've ever had a piece of software fall to pieces, it's because they don't have good relations with their programmers. The programmers are the company. We do 3 payment types to our customers, all automated. There's no calling, there's none of that nonsense. I primarily do now just prepaid. So you prepay top-ups, like a top-up payphone, prepaid cell phone. And when it reaches a certain low balance, then you're getting text and emailed out to top back up, or you're going to lose your leads. That's the easiest. You can do post or flat rate too. Either way, all automated. All you need is a PayPal account. You don't even need you just need a regular PayPal account, just a personal one. Automated billing, I already talked about that. White label, so your customers can log in to the back end and like you're logging into like Google AdWords. And we're going to see, you know, not call Zoo or not, obviously not Google, they're going to see your website. And you don't have to transfer anything over to like your hosting or anything complicated like that. My programmers, which are genius, they just figured out like a one-click way to do it. Our entire CallZoo system is built on the backbone of Twilio. If you know what Twilio is, then you know, then you should really perk up and be excited. But Twilio, whatever Twilio costs for a number, that's what's going to cost you. There is no markup here. So basically Twilio numbers are like $1 for the US per month and like 0.01 cents per minute. It's ridiculously cheap. We also do email because we found that regardless of the niche, some people rather than call, they want to fill out a form and get an estimate or something like that. And so our system is fully integratable with any WordPress site so that you can also track the emails and charge for them just like you would phone calls. We have 3 delivery systems for the phone calls, and we did this. All of these features are not done because some programmer thought it was cool. It's because I had pain in my business and I needed a solution. So these are all workable, real solutions that evolve themselves out of an actual business. It's important to say that, an actual business that had problems and needed solutions. So you're benefiting from all of these years of heartache and pain that went through to figure this stuff out. So we have a single. It's just like boom, every phone call is going right to that Mr. Handyman in Phoenix, no problem. But the fact of the matter is we realize is that we're going to over deliver the leads, and they can't take them all. We're going to end up skipping phone calls or whatever and say, "Whoa, there's too many leads. Slow them down. Can you slow them down for a while?" We developed 2 other systems for call delivery. Again, all automated. Another one is called Round, and basically what Round does is you have 2 or 3 handyman in Phoenix, and the first phone call goes to handyman 1, and the second lead that comes in, whether it's an email or a phone call, that goes to handyman number 2, and so on and so forth down the line. You can add as many as you want, so it gets distributed out evenly, right, one by one by one. And then the third one that we use depends on the niche and stuff, but and also the city. But is this multi-ring? It's like we have 3 or 4 people in our niche in a city, and we all let them know this is going to happen, so they get really competitive about it. It just rings out to everybody. So it's like in Phoenix, it would ring out to every handyman that we have. And the first one that picks up the call, hey, they get the lead, right? So they get rewarded for quick phone calls or picking up the phone. And it has a ton more. But the point I'm trying to make here is I didn't want to like dive into the software and like bore you with all the features and benefits, because quite frankly, the software itself doesn't make a business. Let's be honest, okay? Software does not make a business. What makes a business is you learning how to run a business. And at the core of the day, what does it come down to? It comes down to traffic, which I shared with you, my only 2 methods for delivering traffic in. That's what you need. You need traffic. What's the next thing you need? Conversion. That's it. And then you need a software system to make it easy. So I could bore you with all the details of how it does and blah, 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 but that doesn't matter. It's not going to do you any good unless you have the traffic and conversion on the front end, right? I hope that makes sense, and I hope you appreciate that. So here's some bonuses. And everything here that I'm showing you now is like, it's done when this webinar is over with. So I do 2 live workshops a year. I'm actually doing one starting tomorrow in Vegas. It's all recorded, so you get access to it. The next one, I do 2 a year. So these are non-pitch, these are workshops, and it's only me doing the workshops, okay? And so there's no pitching, there's 0 selling. We're there to work and create a stronger community face-to-face. Just get your butt out on a plane or whatever you got to do to Greyhound, whatever you got to do to get out. That's what you do. When you're there, you're taken care of. I'm going to provide unlimited, only now, these unlimited domains, these high trust age domains that are software scripts in any country that you got, and also the Web 2.0s. The little asterisk there is because I just don't want abuse. If we see you like, thinking small-minded and selling links and stuff like that, then, and then I really want to see you succeed, so I'm going to personally review over your niche selection. So in Module 1, I go over step by step. It's the longest module because it's so important how you start, and I just guide you step by step on exactly how to pick the niche. And there's well over 30,000 local niches, so there's nowhere close to them being run out. So don't think that for a second. But I take you methodically on how to pick them out. You'll end up getting about 20 ones, and then I'll teach you how to reduce it down to 3. Then when you get down to those 3, in full confidentiality, send it into my support, which by the way is 7 days a week. It's awesome. I will look it over personally, and I normally spend about 45 minutes to an hour looking it over and really thinking about it, and I'll give you some extremely valuable feedback on things you need to consider about those 3 top niches, maybe reasons why you need to drop some of them, or maybe you need to scratch and start all over, because that's it. If you don't pick the right niche, you're in trouble. Okay, so I can share that with. So that's it. If you start with the wrong way, then it's just not good. This is something we figured out. I could, quite frankly, make an entire course out of this and sell it for thousands of dollars, and that's how you get a Google 3-pack. Now, I haven't talked, everything I've shared with you is with the SEO and the paid traffic. So this is just an add little bonus, a little more, few more leads coming in. You don't need it to build a successful business, but it is a nice bonus. So that's why I'm offering it right now only. And that is how to get into the Google 3-pack without a postcard. And right down below here, this little guy swimming on the water. This is one of our members on here. And just recently, it's February 12th, he came in and he said, hey, I got 2 of his sites, his lead gen sites, accepted into the Google 3-pack without a postcard. So the thing works. Those students are doing this all the time. I'm going to share with you the exact landing pages with video that I use to get clients, and it's not some old outdated thing. We're constantly split testing this. So if we get some different results, we share this too. Now, even though I'm in different niches, they'll still apply to you, but you just need to change a few things to apply to your own particular niche. So you don't have to worry about, hey, how do I get clients? What's going on there? It's just really a business in a box. My staff is going to give you full backlink reports of any city you're in. So if you're, whatever city you start in and in whatever cities you expand at, no matter where they are in the world, we're going to give you the full backlink reports of your top 3 competitive sites, so you know exactly what you're up against and how many private blog networks you're going to need to get backlinks to in order to outrank them. All my contracts, and these contracts are really valid in the U.S., and these are all my pay-per-lead contracts that I have my clients sign. I've spent over $15,000 with attorney fees to get those. So really full stuff here. So and you're also going to get the exclusive link exchange program within the members group on here. And this really helps take you so that for every one private blog network that you build, it's like really building out 5. It's just 5xing your labor. Instead of building out 5 private blog networks, you just need to build out 1. and then you get links within the community. And we're all following the same guidelines, okay? So here's just a sample on here of people within the Facebook group asking for link exchange, very active on that. And everybody's really respectful of that. So let me just answer some few basic questions that I always get, and this will take care of probably 95% of the questions on here. So the big one is, how soon can I start making money? Well, there's a lot of factors there, right? I showed you earlier the testimonial from one of the students who's working a full-time job, dedicated 2 hours a night, and then 4 hours on a Saturday, and he's just recently quit his job. Results vary. It just depends on how much background knowledge, where you're starting, and how much effort you're going to put into it. It's just kind of like weight loss, right? How soon can I lose 20 pounds? Well, how soon can you get on the treadmill? And are you going to do it the next day, and the day after that, and the day after that? Are you going to clean out your refrigerator of all of the crappy foods and put it in the trash so it's not there? In other words, are you going to clean out all the distractions on your cell phone and on your computer? You see the connection there? It just depends on how dedicated you are to it, right? So it's kind of common sense stuff, but worth stating. Is this newbie friendly? Absolutely. We have in here that have come in and they've never installed a WordPress plugin on a domain. They don't even know the cPanel. They're clueless. They have no idea what a cPanel is, let alone uploading and installing a plugin. So yes, very newbie friendly, and that is with the training and also with my 7-day-a-week staff on support. And I should mention that my support is the same people who all have their own tasks within my company, but then they have part-time tasks of helping support. So you're getting advice from people who are doing what they're giving you advice on, and you'll feel it when you get in there, because you'll get like support from sometimes the head programmer, and sometimes the head person who does my SEO, and so you're getting the best of the best. Are there any upsells? No. How do you get clients? Easy. We show you step by step on how to do it. The same method we do it. We do 2 methods, very simple, and in both methods we send them always to our sales page, squeeze page. It basically explains step by step about what they're getting. One is using paid advertising for your niche to drive them to the page. That's the total hands-off way. The other way is to actually call either you, or we show you step by step on how to hire from whatever country that you're going to start in, people native in that area that are used to doing these types of calls. And these are not hard sales calls. All we're doing is we're saying, hey, how would you like 3 days of absolutely free leads? We can deliver them to you when you want them. They're 100% free. We just want to know you're not a tire kicker, and we want to be able to explain to you that after the 3 days or 4 days or sometimes 5 days or even 7-day free trial, this is what it's going to cost you per lead. Okay, very easy sale, extremely. We're not selling, we're selling results in advance, and we're showing them up front. How much do the phone numbers cost? It's whatever Twilio costs. Twilio is usually $1 a month per phone number, depending on the country, and usually about 0.01 cents per minute. It's really it's not a huge. Your hosting is going to cost more. Okay. Do you have phone numbers in all countries? Yes, we have phone numbers in any country that Twilio does, and basically any country that has Google AdWords will have the numbers. So any substantial country, all European countries, all Asian countries. If you already know what Twilio is and you've got phone numbers from there, great. Can you port them over to CallZoo? Absolutely. One button pushes them over. You still have the numbers. You have every rights to them. If ever you not want to use it, you can just export it out. One touch, just one button here. The question I get a lot of time is, I don't like SEO. I only want to just skip right to the AdWords. I kind of like that second part that I showed, right? It's really sexy stuff in here. The challenge with that is this, and a lot of people don't do it the way that I'm teaching, and it's why they can't do it. It's why basically I'm the only one that's teaching this. It's a 2-step process, and I think we discovered this by accident. Google will just give you amazing paid advertising rates when they already trust you. And when they trust you organically, they can see, oh yeah, you're kind of organically in there in a couple cities. Yeah, that's cool. And now you want to do some paid advertising? You want to do some pay-per-call advertising? Yeah, no problem. And they give you a higher quality score. They just roll out the red carpet, and they show it in the prices, and it just makes all the difference in the world. So this method, quite honestly, can work, but the margins are so tight if you just come in and you do purely just the AdWords. It's better, and we make everything so easy to do if you come in and first organically do it, have some presence, gain some trust with Google, and then shift into the second thing. And then what your end result is, you build a more stable business. You build a real business model that doesn't have one source of leads, but has two sources of leads, okay? Much better that way, trust me. Okay, so here it is. This is what you're going to want to do. You're going to want to go to, again, this is going to, when this webinar is over, this whole thing is over here. So you're going to want to go to learn, learn.callzoo.com/Anthony. And of course, if you have any questions, support is standing by 7 days a week. Just support@callzoo.com. So with that, we'll turn it over to the live questions that haven't already answered it, and we'll go through those.
Awesome. Another great call, man. I wanted to add something to that, if that's okay with you, Chris.
Yeah.
I wanted to add a bonus to this.
Oh.
I'm going to add a live training. It's going to be a live workshop. It's for folks that were on tonight's call and folks that were on last week's call, last Tuesday's call. So when you go through my affiliate link, the one that Chris has on the screen, I also dropped it in the chat box. I'm going to do a live workshop that's going to teach you how to get traffic from your backlinks. So you're going to get like a 1-2 punch. You're going to get like the benefits of the ranking from the backlinks, and then I'm going to teach you how to get traffic from them. So you can get maybe a few extra calls from it, you know. So it's kind of like a 2-for-1 punch. And then that way we can make this like an even more irresistible offer for you. The only catch to that is that I can effectively only teach this to 50 people at once live on a class. Otherwise, it gets too overwhelming for me if there's too many people, because we're going to go step by step by step. So if you want to be a part of that class, now is the time to jump in. When you get your proof of purchase, just send it to our help desk, myproducthelpdesk.com. And I just had the idea for this workshop right now, so Lori is not even ready for your tickets. I'm going to have to create the date for the class and all that stuff. I'll probably do it on a weekend, and I'll record it, so if you can't make it, you'll also get it. But, send us your proof of purchase, myproducthelpdesk.com. Give me a little bit of time to figure out what date we're going to do this, and Lori, we'll get back to you when we're going to do the live class on how you can get traffic from the backlinks that you build. So that's all I have to add. It's truly amazing. I remember years ago when you showed me this business, you were doing, I think it was a couple $1 million a year. And it's, fast forward to today, 5 years later now, we've known each other, and you're at almost $1 million a month. And that is life-changing income. I mean, I would only imagine it's an amazing, legacy that you're starting to leave for your kids. And the fact that you're teaching them how to also make money from their own online businesses blows my mind.
Yeah, it certainly is. And I don't want people to become overwhelmed by that, or it's like it's too far to reach. I mean, you just literally take it. You've all heard this before. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Yeah. So you take your first couple bites, and you get to the point to where members have in our course to where they've equaled or exceeded their current income, then they make the transition over, and it's just step by step. Right. But the bottom line is if you don't take those first couple bites, you're going to end up in the same place where you are right now.
Exactly. And we talked about this on Tuesday. The reason you were able to take that from $2 million a year to almost over $1 million a month It's because you've only been doing one business model this whole time, right? Well,
Yeah.
I've been trying to do several. I know people on this call have been trying to do several. I think it's like our human nature. In this day and age, we're getting all these emails. We have all these opportunities in front of us. But it goes to show you just need one opportunity. You've been able to increase your business. You literally, you 10x your business. I mean, pretty much, right? 10x, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Technically about 11.5x, but yeah, 10x definitely.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable in a short amount of time. In a short amount of time. So one of the reasons why I think that this happens, folks, and this is really important, and then we'll answer questions. I like talking about this mindset stuff because it's really important. I kind of had this epiphany a few months ago. I don't know why I didn't think about this until a few months ago. I'm a pretty smart guy. I have a degree in finance from one of Florida's most prestigious universities, and it didn't dawn on me until a few months ago that the reason, and we talked about this the other night, the reason that Chris is able to scale his business to the level that he scaled it is because, not just because he was working on one business, that's a part of the equation, but the other part of the equation is that the problems that come up when you work on the same thing, the problems always are coming up, right? They're the same problems. When you're working on the same business, it's the same problems that come up. So what happens when the same problems come up? You get really, really, really good at solving those problems, right? And then that's how the business scales. When you're not focused in on nothing else, you're focused in on growing your business and solving the problems that the business has. The challenges, I like calling them challenges. And it becomes easy to overcome those challenges because they're the same ones all the time. I hope everyone sees that. I don't know why I didn't think about that. I don't know why that didn't dawn on me until a few months ago. I was like, duh, Anthony. You're like so stressed out because you have all these businesses that you're trying to run with all these different problems and all this stuff coming up all the time. So I just wanted to share that with y'all. All right. So y'all, it says y'all are having problems with my link, but it worked fine for me. I pasted the link. It's working okay for me. Is anyone having problems with the link? Database, no connection.
Let me double check it.
Just came up. It must be because we have all these folks on the call.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'll happen sometimes.
Let me just. Doesn't work. Database, no connection, error. Let me check.
Let me double check it here too. Just check it right now.
Uh-oh. Sorry about that, folks. Some people are saying that they're good now. Larry says he got through it okay.
Let me double check here. I have it open. That's why we have the support open there. I know we'll get you taken care of regardless, but let's see if we can get this taken care of right now. And yeah, I'm looking good here. This is it right here.
It went down once. I'm trying to bring it up again. I think it might just be going off and on. It's saying database error connection, but I'm trying to reload it right now.
Here, let me do this. Let's just give the direct raw link on that, and we can put that in the I can put that in the chat box, and then because everyone has the gist of it for sure. I mean, you're just going to get kind of this fancy description right here and stuff. So. I think we have enough of that in it, but want to make sure that we're good there. Make sure that I've got this. Do you have, I can pull it, I'll pull it up right now really quickly. And let me just get that. We'll just do the direct one right now. So I'm going to put this in the chat box. Oh yeah, that's not good. That's not good. I think we're just have too many people blowing this up. Too many people on the phone call are just driving right to here, which is okay. We love it, but and if you keep refreshing, it will definitely do this. But let me just give you the direct. Yeah, because mine's giving the database error. So let me give you the direct link, and I'll get that right in the chat box here. And I need to find the chat box. It's right here. Boom. And I'll get this open on here. So while I'm putting this in the chat box, I know we probably got some questions here that I probably didn't answer. So I want to get those out of the way. Yeah, we got a lot of people on the phone call too. So let me see. Let's see here. Do I have questions right here? Good. So let me get I'm going to copy and paste the direct link right there and send out to all. And then what I'll also do, I'm going to put my support desk in here, and there are supports right there waiting for you right now. So we'll get you taken care of.
What's awesome about this is people know that, as marketers, when we say that the server crashed, or they know
There's not a bunch of BS, right?
You guys know we're not lying to you. I mean, this stuff really does happen.
Yeah,
so.
It does. Yeah, because it's not the normal traffic that goes there, and then your server goes nuts. All righty. Very good. It's all right. Just lots of, I love all the comments in here. It's good stuff here. Very good group of people. Wow, look at the feedback on here. Okay. Nice. So everyone should have the direct raw link, which should just go right to the setup right away. So for those of you who have used that link and you're in, let us know that that's working okay. I can just also put it in here real quick. I'll just make sure that it's working okay for me. And bam, that should be it right there. Yeah, it does. So it totally works right there. So let me go back to the database, and let me go back to this and see if I can get the page to pull back up. Yeah, you folks are just blowing it up. There's too many people hitting it. So no worries. We have the direct link there, and we'll get that rocking and rolling on this end of it. What a lot of people ask is this is another common misconception that we get is that the upfront is this an annual thing for the upfront? It's not. Are the live events just for the first year? No, they're not. As long as you're an active regular member, you do have access to them. I'm doing 2 per year, and I do them one either in the States or somewhere very close to the States, somewhere maybe like in Mexico or Vegas or Canada, something like that. And then I do another one usually over in Europe or Asia. And the second one is going to be, well, the first one this year is actually this weekend. If all of you who get the course will get the recordings for it and some really valuable information. That's in Vegas. And then in September, towards the end of September, it's in Barcelona, Spain, which, trust me, any excuse you can have to go out to Barcelona is definitely worth going. And then the following year, next year, I'll come up with 2 other different locations based on feedback. I got the first feedback from the members. I said, hey, here's a poll. Where does everybody want to meet if they're going to be over towards the United States of America? And if you're going to Europe, and everyone in Europe said, it was a tie between London and Barcelona. So I happen to spend a lot of time in Barcelona, so I was a little bit, I put in the tipper bonus there, the vote for that one, the final one. But it's good stuff. And these are things that I wanted to make sure that I had these are all things that I wish I had when I was, growing a business and stuff. I wish that I had workshops that I could go to. I went to a lot of events and stuff, and a lot of them, quite frankly, were just kind of pitch fest. They're just like speaker after speaker, but at the end of it, they got you all jacked up, but they always had something to sell you and stuff, and you're already sold you on the course, so I didn't want that. And I always wish that, no matter how great a course was, it'd be really nice just to connect once a week um, with the actual business owner on a live call and just go over the ins and outs and answer questions and what's going on and stuff, just so you just stay in the pulse of what's going on. And so that's what I created. And then the last thing was, we've all had crummy service. It's like, you call in for a cell phone company or cable companies are notorious for it or whatever. And I always said, you know what, when I grow a company, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make sure there's people there that are polite, they're informed, and they make a difference. And that's what we do. I'm actually very proud of them. I should have shown a ton more. Actually, I've got a whole video right now. We can get to that anytime you want to, Anthony, of well over 50, 75 testimonials of just current customers, just either talking or sharing about support, the results, all that kind of stuff on here. And that's the kind of stuff that gets me up in the morning. That's the stuff that wakes me up and says, hey, this is going to happen on here. This is what really makes things happening. Yeah, let me look. The pricing on here, so it says not on that. Look at it's an absolute steal on here, and okay, so there's that. Yeah. So, hey, Anthony, this is your call on here. Do you, if you want, I can pull up the video and we can play some other.
Yeah, let's do that.
Do that, and then we can just, while the video is playing, myself and my staff, we'll answer all your questions privately on a chat box. I know what it's like to be on a webinar, like so many people on like there is now, and not get your questions answered. We'll make sure everything's answered. We won't even leave until it is. And while you're waiting for us to answer your question, you can kind of get to know some of our other success stories on here. So with that, I'll go ahead and start. Yes, go ahead.
Really sorry about the psycho and down folks. What I'm going to do is I'm going to extend the bonus workshop. What I'll do is if we fill up with 50 people, I'll have another one. Because I really like to just keep it small. So what I'll do is if we do more than 50, I'll just have another one. So I won't leave you out in the cold. I wouldn't do that to you. We didn't expect this to happen. We didn't expect this to crash on us today. So just know I got you covered, okay? And I'll make sure to have as many of those how to get traffic with backlinks classes as we need to for folks that jump on and get Chris's call zoo. All right, just wanted to put that out there, Chris. So go right ahead.
Awesome. Okay. So again, myself, my staff, we're going to sit here and we're going to answer every single question until there are no other questions. And so let's go ahead and get started with that.
Hi, my name is Brian. I just want to give a testimonial for Chris